When I was 16 years old, I worked at a basketball camp for elementary age kids. And at the time, I was only 6'6". I was a human jungle gym to most of the kids, but one kid held himself back. He was a shy 9-year-old little boy with mismatched clothes. You could tell he didn't come from much money. His shoes were probably 4th generation. They were beat up and never tied. He presented to the world in the same way he saw himself. A nobody, worthless, less than, a loser. Johnny would never give eye contact. Couldn't stand being in a crowd. And if you gave him a high five or a pat on the back, he generally would flinch. And I had compassion for him. I made it my mission that week to crack his shell. Every day I gave him a little bit extra time, working on shooting, dribbling, passing. And at the end of the week, Johnny went from a withdrawn bench warmer to the most improved player in the camp. How? I challenged him. I believed in him, and I encouraged him to take risks. At the end of the camp, we were walking to the car one last time on that Friday, and we were giving high fives and having a blast, things that would have been unimaginable just 5 days earlier. But when we got 20 feet from the car, Johnny's mood changed. He turned to me and engulfed me in a hug. And I looked down at him, and he had tears in his eyes. And he looked up and said, "Bye, coach." Now, I could see that he was trembling, and I could see he was wrapped up with emotion, so I wanted to go to his level. So I lowered to one knee so I could look him in his eyes. And I wanted to talk to him. And before I could say anything, Johnny said, "I wish you were my dad." And he turned and ran to his car. I never saw Johnny again. But on that day, while I was the coach, Johnny ended up being the teacher. He showed me that I had the ability to put greatness in anyone if I believe in them. In this moment, I learned my life's mission was to help kids find the best version of themselves. I realized I had the ability to build confidence in others. And so can you. My name's Tal Thompson, and I'm a 5th grade teacher from South Carolina. And I have a big vision for the future of public education. I imagine a world where teachers, parents, and kids are all rooting for each other. And I imagine a world where taking a risk is considered an exciting opportunity. And I imagine a world where you can feel both scared and excited at the exact same time and do big, brave things. And I also believe in starting each day with a song. That's a typical start to every day in my classroom. It's a song called Hall of Fame by a band called The Script. And it's a song about potential greatness. Now, you probably couldn't understand the words to that song as a mosh pit of 9-year-olds just yelled them into the camera. So I thought I would share some of the lyrics with you right now. You can be the greatest. You can be the best. You can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You can beat the world. You can beat the war. You can talk to God, go bang on his door. You can throw your hands up. You can beat the clock. You can move a mountain. You can break rocks. You can be a master. Don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself, and you'll find yourself standing in the Hall of Fame. Now, notice that song did not say you will be great. It said you can be great. After that song's over, I give a couple shout outs to kids in the class, but only the kids who have earned them. My class knows, because I preach it often, that we work on the value of potential greatness. I believe greatness, true greatness, is earned. My kids know that the path to greatness comes when you embrace adversity and you seek out struggle and you find joy in overcoming obstacles. Our educational system has lost its way. It's taken its passion and focus and put it into filling in little bubbles for test scores. We don't need that. It's telling teachers to push mountains and mountains of content on kids. We don't need that. What do we need? We need that thing that inspires greatness. That thing that shows kids how to embrace the struggle. That thing that teaches kids that achievement comes through perseverance. That thing is what's missing in American education. And I'm on a mission to bring it back. And that thing, good. That thing is confidence. It's confidence. Now, the definition of a confidence is a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. And the key words are one's own. They have to believe it. You just can't tell them they're great. Now, confidence needs to be the foundation of our educational system. It's like that backpack that we're supposed to fill with all the skills and habits that these kids need to be successful in an ever-changing 21st century world. If a kid is confident, they'll speak up in a crowd. They'll jump into a group. They're eager to take on the most challenging task you can present them because they're creative and critical thinking, and by God, they want to share it with you. Now, we've all seen that kid, though, that is lacking confidence. He's held hostage by his confidence level. They won't speak up. They won't get into a group. We'll never know how truly great those kids could be because their confidence holds them back. Why? Because they don't believe in themselves. Our educational system has dismissed this, and it's a damn shame. We are wasting our most precious and greatest natural resource, our children. Now, confidence also has an enemy, and it's growing stronger every single day in our country. It's called false confidence. In America, when kids do something great, we celebrate it. We're actually really good at that. But when they fail, we minimize it. We have to stop telling kids it's not their fault and it's all going to be okay. We have to teach them to learn from this failure. Don't dismiss failure, embrace it. Let success breed confidence. But also, please, let failure breed confidence. We have to teach these kids to find the best version of themselves and be relentless with that search. But along the way, expect a struggle. Now, confidence isn't something that you're born with or not born with. It's something that can be taught, and it can be cultivated. Confidence had a way of entering my life early in an interesting way. My dad is a Vietnam War veteran and a Purple Heart recipient. And I'm very proud for what he's done for our country. But when my dad came back from Vietnam, he struggled greatly with PTSD. His brain would not let him forget the horrible memories and incidents that happened while he was there. And that was taken out on my mom, my siblings, and myself. But my dad was also brave enough to seek treatment when he got home. And for that, I'm grateful because I got my dad back. And most people don't get to know their loved one, what their loved one was like before they went to war, so I consider myself pretty lucky. But before he got treatment, life was a scary place. The slightest mistake or interaction would send my father into a rage. Our home was considered by my siblings and myself just to be a scary place to be. Friends would not come over and interact because they were afraid of what might happen. I never truly felt the confidence to explore who I am, and that's in my own home. Anger was a way of life. But in 8th grade, I ran into a hero, Mrs. Atkinson. Miss Atkinson was my 8th grade language arts teacher, and she was tough. Don't let that smile fool you. But she was also very, very kind. And she wore those big glasses, and this is the only picture I can find that didn't have a wonderful teacher sweater on. And those glasses saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. She believed in me, and she showed me the power of believing in myself. She started my belief in myself. Miss Atkinson's my hero. And I think that I was Johnny's hero. And I would love to think that right now, somewhere, Johnny is someone else's hero. Now, while I really pray and would love to see our educational system change its way, and hopefully they will, I also believe that we can start the confident building process right here, right now. In your homes, at your work, with your peers, with your friends, with your loved ones, with your partner. You ready? With yourself. Now, on the first day of school, I play the music for that. I play that song for my kids. And then I break the news to them. And you know what? I think it's time that Teacher Tal enters the building right now. So, boys and girls, that song is meant to inspire us. It's meant to challenge us. It's not just a song that we're going to listen to and all of a sudden become great. You got to believe it. You got to listen to it. You got to take it in. You got to learn it. You got to let it stoke that fire within. Now, in order for that song to work, we got to stop letting them sing to us. We have to sing to ourselves. We have to change one word in this song. We have to get rid of the word you and change it to I. So let's try it today, boys and girls. Let's try it. Stand up, class, please. So I'm going to sing the first line, and you're going to sing it back. And I'm going to dance the first line, and you're going to dance it back. And I challenge you to beat my energy level. All right, let's see what kind of rhythm we got in here. Ready? I can be the greatest.
I can be the greatest.
I can be the best.
I can be the best.
I can be the King Kong banging on my chest.
I can be the King Kong banging on my chest.
I can beat the world.
I can beat the world.
And I can beat the war.
I can beat the war.
I can talk to God, go banging on his door.
I can talk to God, go banging on his door.
I can throw my hands up.
I can throw my hands up.
I can beat the clock.
I can beat the clock.
I can move mountains.
I can move mountains.
And I can break rocks.
And I can break rocks.
I can be a master.
I can be a master.
Don't wait for luck.
Don't wait for luck.
Dedicate myself, I'm going to find myself.
Dedicate myself, I'm going to find myself.
Let's do this last one together. Standing in the Hall of Fame. What if our youth were filled with confidence every single day? And what if those kids grew up to be young adults that embraced the struggle and found joy in overcoming obstacles? And what if those young adults grew up to be the pillars and leaders of our world? What if? Thank you.